Let's take a look at how to complete the blood types and codominance worksheet. There's a chart here explaining the phenotype, the blood type that you have, and the genotypes that can result in that phenotype. Remember, you can have type A by being AA or AO. This is the other way of writing that. These are the blood types they can donate to, and these are the blood types they can receive from. So this chart may help you with some of the questions. So for number 1, write the genotype for each person based on the description. If they are homozygous for the B allele, that means they have one type of gene, homozygous, same, for the B allele. That means both of their genes are B. Another correct answer would be a capital I with a superscript of B and capital I with a superscript of B. Both of these are correct. You keep going and answer the rest of the questions on number 1. For number 2, pretend that Brad Pitt is homozygous for the type A allele and Angelina Jolie is type O. What are all the possible blood types for their baby? Show the Punnett square. If Brad Pitt is homozygous, that means the same, and he has the type A allele, that means he has 2 of the type A alleles. Angelina Jolie is type O. There's only one way to be a type O. It's to have 2 of the recessive O alleles. Now just do your cross and you can predict the blood types of their baby. Number 3 will be completed in a similar manner. Number 4, Mrs. Klink is type B. Mr. Klink is type O. They have 3 children named Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Mark is type O, Matthew is type B, and Luke is type AB. Based on this information, all right, wow. If Mrs. Klink is type B, she might be homozygous or she might be heterozygous. Mr. Klink is type O. He can only be homozygous because that's recessive. If Mark is type O, he can only be homozygous. So therefore, if he got 1 O from the dad and 1 O from the mom, then the mom has to be heterozygous. See how that works? So Mr. Klink must have the genotype OO. Mrs. Klink must be BO because Mark has blood type O. And that can only happen if each parent can pass on the O gene. Luke cannot be the child of these parents because neither parent had what allele that was passed on to Luke. Number 5, 2 parents think their baby was switched at the hospital. It's 1968, so DNA fingerprinting technology does not exist yet. The mother has blood type O, the father has blood type AB, and the baby has blood type A. The mother's genotype, since she's type O, has to be OO. The father has to be genotype AB. Since the baby is blood type A, the baby could have 2 different genotypes, either AA or AO. Now let's make a Punnett square showing all the possible genotypes for any children between these 2 parents. So mom's blood type O, dad's blood type AB. You can see that their children have to be either type A or type B. The baby is type A. Obviously, the baby cannot be AA. With a mother with O blood, the baby cannot be AA, but it can be AO. Now, was the baby switched? We don't know. The thing is, the baby has a blood type that is a possible outcome of these two parents. But there are millions of babies with blood type A. There are millions of moms with blood type O and millions of dads with blood type AB. So this only shows that the baby could be their baby. It doesn't prove that the baby definitely is their baby. Now, if the baby had blood type O, we would know that is not possible. We would know the mom could be the mom, but the dad could not have a baby with type O blood. Also, if the baby was type AB, we would know the father was a possible father, but the mother cannot have a baby with type AB because she has neither an A nor a B to pass on. In that case, the baby definitely would have been switched because, of course, you know who the mother is because the mother has the baby. So skipping down to number 9, explain why blood type data cannot prove who the father of a baby is. It can only prove who the father is not. Just like in number 5, if the baby is type A, that is a possible outcome from the two parents. However, there are millions of babies with type A blood, so we don't know that this baby is theirs. We just know that's one of the possible genotypes. However, if the baby had a different blood type, such as O or AB, that was not a possible outcome, then we would know that was not their baby and that it had been switched. That's why DNA fingerprinting is so important, because that will prove that it is their baby or is not their baby. With blood typing, you can only prove it is not their baby. For number 6, how do you know which Punnett square to draw? It's kind of confusing. Well, choose any combination that will give AB as one of the choices. So you can start with any of the combination that gives the mom blood type A. You can start with any combination that gives blood type B. And when you're done, if at least one of the answers is AB, then that is a possible Punnett square. So it does not matter which ones you start with as long as AB is one of the answers. Based on the information in this table, which man could not be the father of baby? All right, so we have a mother with type A blood. She is either AA or AO. We don't know which one. The baby is type B. So the baby is either BB or BO. Sammy the player is definitely AB. That's the only way you can have AB blood type. First, let's look at the mother. If she passes on A, that baby would not be blood type B. So she must have passed on the O. She has to be type AO if her baby is type B. And she had to pass on the O. Therefore, the father passed on the B, whoever the father was. So Sammy the player could have passed on an A or a B, so he could be the father. George the sleaze has type O, he's OO only, and if he passed on his O, then the mom, yeah, that A isn't going to work. So they could not have had this baby. The waiter is type B, that could be BB or BO, and either way, the father could pass on the letter B. So he's a possibility. And finally, the cable guy is type A. He is either AA or AO. He doesn't have a B to pass on, so he cannot be the father. So he's a maybe. This guy is a maybe. And this guy is a definite no, and this guy is a definite no. Pause the video and try number 8. The mother is blood type AB, so she can pass on the letter A or she can pass on the letter B. The baby is blood type O, so the baby has two O genes. Wait a minute. Can this be the mother? No, this baby is impossible for that mother to be the mom. And if we're not sure he's the mother, then all the guys she was with, it doesn't matter who she was with because she's not the mom, so they're probably not the dad. But assuming, yeah. So here's a really big problem with the question. The mom can't even be the mom. But let's see, assuming that they were with the mom, whoever the mom was, not this lady, obviously, but let's figure out who could have been the father. Type O, he could only pass on O's. He might have been the father. He can pass on an A or a B. He could not have been the father. He could either pass on an A or he could pass on an O. If he passed on the O, if he was type AO, then he could be the father. If he was AA, he could not. But you don't know that. When you do the type A blood test, you just know he's A or he's not. And so you don't know which genotype gives the type A phenotype. So he could be the father. We don't know enough details. And then type B would either be BB or BO. There is an O he could have passed on, so he is a possibility for the father. Make sure you explain the really big problem with this whole question.